Good evening, Vietnam. No, not Vietnam. Spa-Francorchamps, which is where we are with the McLarens. As you can see, look at them flying up Eau Rouge. It's just a qualifying session, but this looks like a race. But here we are in the Ardennes Forest, as Spitzlam informed me just before. And speaking of Spitzlam, here he is, Mr. Spitzlam, joining me in the commentary booth once again.
Hello, guys.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going fine.
Welcome to everyone watching and everyone in the chat. Already got some fans out. Oh, Eric's just been demolished on one of his outlaps in qualifying. This is set to be an interesting one, I'm sure. I'll jump on with Ryan since he managed to seem to escape a lot of the chaos. But yeah, these drivers are already going at it heel and toe. And we're only a minute and a bit into qualifying. So if this is anything, what on earth is going on here? If there's any gauge on how the race is going to go, we're in for a bit of fun. Especially with the reverse grid race with this set of drivers that seem to be out. But it is a full grid today. 20 drivers out on the track right now. And me and Spitzel, I'm just sat in the pit lane, just seeing what the facilities are like, getting a coffee. You know how it is.
Classic.
Classic. Coming fresh off the back last week, we were at... Where were we? Nürburgring in the Corvettes. And it was a win for Ryan and a win for Michelle. Is that right?
Yeah.
I should check these things before we go live, shouldn't I? But
yes, you should.
Yeah, last week a win for Ryan and a win for Michelle. So good points on the board for them, and we'll see how that kind of closes up as we go through this race and what that all means for the standings. The Hot Lap in Heaven Championships have been updated. The Hot Lap Championship, will be updated soon, I'm sure, as will the Community Race one. And of course, headed into this race, we are on the 8th race of a 13-race season. There's only 5 points in it at the top. 5 points between Eric and Ryan right now, right at the top of this championship. So it's all to play for, and we've still got 5 more races left. Who's going to come out on top at the end of this one? I won't ask you to curse anyone today, Spitzlam. I don't think that's fair.
No, it is not.
Don't think that's fair. So we'll try not to curse anyone at the top, but at the bottom we can curse someone. So who do you think is going to come last?
I need to look who is racing. Actually, I don't know.
Well,
if I didn't get the CPU occupancy warning, then I would know who is racing and who is not. Which would be really good.
Well, here we go. Just need to make sure that my Assetto Corsa is playing games. Oops.
Here,
don't mind the
David
weird
Rodriguez.
David Rodriguez. So Spitzlam has chosen to smite David Rodriguez today. So David Rodriguez, if you do very well, then you can thank Spitzlam. If you do badly, it's all his fault, not mine, I swear.
Oh.
Nonetheless,
is it qualifying or racing? We'll
see how we go.
Are reckless.
Yeah, there is plenty of chaos. Ryan on a good lap right now. We're with Ryan Skywalker on the stream right now, getting in a decent lap here. But I can see on the timing map that he's got a couple drivers that are a bit slower than him up ahead. And with the way that these drivers are going, like you say, very reckless. And well, as Eric truly found out earlier on, as he got Span coming through at the end of the Kemmel Straight. But
it's basically Eric versus Ryan.
That's not the only battle going on, of course. We do have a few more battles in the championship, and I'm sure we'll have some different kind of battles in the race today, but between Michelle and Artyom, there is only 12 points between Jesus and Max Newt. So Max Newt set to gain a position today since Jesus is not here once again. So Max Newt, as long as he can get at least 2 points on the board, is going to move up to 5th at the very least. And we've got a few drivers looking to make their name here, I think. Alexander Gray going to drop down the order. I'm trying to look at the drivers that are out there.
Racing.
Is Alexander
Gray. Where's Oswald on his account just to ruin his reputation? No. Actually, I don't know.
I don't see him on the list.
Well, he's online.
fingers crossed he's here because he's been a notable absence in his last few weeks of absence. But, well, we'll see. We'll see as it goes on. Qualifying's about halfway done now. I'll try and get us back on track. I'm just kind of talking away. Gregory Gall... I'm not going to try that. I'm going to butcher your name again. Gregory watching live from South Africa, cheering on Nico. Nico? Nicholas Barriant.
Or Rosberg.
No! Nicholas Barriant. He's currently sat in 3rd position with a very good showing, well ahead of some fast drivers like Eric Schmidera, although I don't think Eric has even managed to put in a valid lap yet. He's not, and he's on a slow lap now, really struggling to find some track position. Currently, in provisional pole and setting a fastest first sector so far is Max Newt 7. I'll see if I can try and find him on the track somewhere. Where is he?
Where's Max?
Max.
Well, there's someone at the wall in Brussels. Not Brussels, no name.
So Max Newt, yeah, currently sat in provisional pole. Ryan Skywalker is behind him and by about 0.8 of a second. So,
there are 3 people just stopped at the exit of Las Horse, and they just practice a start and they're crashing into each other.
There's some interesting driving going on
know.
today. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if these drivers are going to cause any more chaos in the race. But I'm sure there'll be no less chaos than we're used to. Anyway, here we are.
When Max just
giving us a spin on the exit of his what was shaping up to be a decent lap, not the fastest middle sector, but was certainly set to be a good lap. However, that's going to hamper his attempts to stay in 1st position as Michel Rodriguez comes across the line, currently sat in 4th position. His best lap is still about 1.5 seconds behind even Max Newt. So plenty of time to be gained by these drivers. Ryan Skywalker, as you can see, as the timing tower begins to update, very close behind Max Newt, but not close enough quite yet to get that 1st position. And of course, Eric, the driver that we all expect to come up near the front, as he's at the top, at the head of the championship right now, as there is a driver backwards on the Kimmel Straight. Oh, he's disappeared. Yeah, Eric will expect to move up the leaderboard. Currently setting some fastest sectors, setting the leaderboard alight. Let's see if we can find him. Eric, where are you, my friend? Here he is. On a what is listed as an out lap, but is definitely a time lap coming around the end of the hot lap itself in the last chicane. Now braking deep, missing that apex a little bit, then getting back on the power, accelerating out of 1st up to 2nd, and then on the start finish straight, Eric Schmidera now is going to put in a lap time of a 2:21.289. That's only fast enough to put him in 3rd position. He's going to have another shot, one more shot at a lap, so this has got to be all or nothing for Eric if he wants to get back on provisional pole. Not back on provisional pole, if he wants to get on provisional pole ahead of Max Newt and Ryan Skywalker, who themselves are very fast drivers and both out on quite fast laps. Max Newt, not the case. I think he's on an out lap now, but he should be able to get around before the checkered flag. But Ryan, yeah, currently on a very fast lap. Not the fastest 1st sector. We'll see how his sector times tick down. But yeah, I'm only focusing on the top 3, aren't I?
Yes, you are. You definitely are.
I know. Go on, give us some.
Actually 4th.
Nicholas Barriant. There we go. Now 5th. You've cursed him.
Henry.
You've cursed him.
Happened.
South Korea. Did I say South Africa? I'm so sorry, Gregory. South Korea. I have a friend in South Korea. He's currently spending a year there. That's still very impressive. And in fact,
North Korea
I know what time. In South Korea is 9 hours ahead of Britain, and it's 7 o'clock here. It's got to be like 4 a.m. for you. This is incredible support for Nicholas Barriant, who's gonna get some. Is it 6
8. Google, just Google it. Just Google it.
It's 4 a.m. It's 4 a.m. in South Korea. Amazing support for Nicholas here, as he comes round and he's currently sat in 5th position, just been pipped by Michel Rodriguez and Henry Comsey. The checker flag comes down, which means that the last driver to finish a lap will be El Ripo, as he's just come round the 1st corner. Eric Schmidera is complaining he didn't get a single clean lap in and he's in the pits. So Eric Schmidera is not going to improve on his 3rd position. He's only going to stand to go backwards from there. So the fight at the front is Ryan Skywalker and Max Newt. Ryan Skywalker, in the pits. Max Newt in the pits. So the top three all seem to be fairly happy with their laps. Let's see if Nicholas can improve on his time. Don't think he can. Oh, he can indeed.
Oh, yes,
he can indeed, and he puts himself into the podium positions, provisionally, of course, into third position, just a half a second behind Ryan Skywalker. So a very good lap from Nicholas there. Eric Schmidera demoted down to fourth. Henry Comsey now coming around to the final parts of the lap. Yeah, he is. He's coming round past Stavolo. On to the Blanchimont. He's going to be one of the last drivers to cross the line. I think El Ripo is just coming around Pouon now. So he'll be the actual last driver across the line. But we'll see how Henry Comsey can improve. I think he's the only one that I can see bringing the fight to the front runners. There's a big spread across the drivers today as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Not quite as tight as we're used to.
But I think there's 2 new names on the leaderboard. Otherwise, we know everyone.
Henry Comsey, there he goes, into third position with a 2:29 dead, putting him just ahead of Nicholas there. So a good result for Henry there. And the last few drivers are going to cross the line. We're going to get into the racing, I think, very soon.
Let's hope so.
Who's going to be leading by the first corner, Spitslam? It's not a curse. It's just a prediction. It's
Nicholas. I don't know. Nicholas.
The Nicholas fan club is going to will him right to the front of the pack. He's going to make a daring move up the inside. And he's going to get himself into first. El Ripo, the final driver to complete a hot lap now, comes through. Oh, and improves on his time. Gets himself up into 8th position. And that's just got him set for the race, which is about to get underway. So, Nicholas in the lead by the first corner. That's the current prediction.
Yep.
Are we missing Max Newt? No, he's there. Ryan's there.
No,
sorry.
Everyone's there.
Everyone's there. Panic over. We're ready for a race. We're ready for a race, and what a race this is set to be. GT3s at Spa. Nothing better. Nothing better. Are you ready, Spitzlam?
Yes, I am.
I'm not. I'm definitely not. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats. Sip your drink, because it's time to go racing. 6 red lights are about to come on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights on, waiting for the drivers. Look at it glow on the track as 20 drivers set off at Spa-Francorchamps, and there's drivers all over the grass at the back. Look at them spread out further behind, but it's still Ryan Skywalker in the lead by the first corner. Max Newt gets sent around the outside, and he gets spun around by Eric Schmidera. He's collided with Michelle Rodriguez, but they've all got back on track, and they've all carried on as they were. I think Michelle Rodriguez might be spun backwards, but coming down towards Eau Rouge, it's Ryan Skywalker from Henry Comsey, from Isaac Gard, from Artyom, Eric Schmidera, and Keith Holt. Nicholas Barrion, cursed, has moved backwards in the first corner as the drivers steam up Eau Rouge, up towards Radion, down the Kemmel Straight, and they're all line astern. Who's going to make the move here? I think there's some drivers looking out to make a move. Henry Comsey is streamlining Ryan Skywalker all the way towards the Les Combs chicane. Oh, Ryan Skywalker goes wide. He's all over the sausage curves, and Henry Comsey moves through into first position, through Les Combs, into El Medi, and down to Brussels. Henry Comsey is in the lead, but Ryan Skywalker is still very close behind, and Isaac Gard potentially stands to gain a lot of places from this, because these two are going to continue to battle. Ryan does not want to give up first position like that. Isaac Gard still very close behind. Henry Comsey still getting hounded by Ryan Skywalker, and behind them as well, Eric Schmidera hounding Artyom. Further back, there's even more battles, there's even more chaos, but I'm going to struggle to focus on them all because there's such a good battle up at the front. But what's happened further back, Spitzlam, do you know?
I don't know.
There's too much to keep track of.
Yeah, just somebody's first corner, just somebody spun, and I think a yellow car, that is a car that spun, and then just a lot of people got blocked by that. That's where my knowledge is. Who is that?
Oh.
Ben Bava just going into the wall at Wuhan. Losing control like doing Italian Jesus. Antonio
like,
Giovanazzi.
Like Giovanazzi has gone into the wall at Pouon. Driver's still stuck on the track at Pouon as well. Hopefully he manages to get that out of the way in time. But Back at the front, it's still Henry Comsey from Ryan Skywalker. Henry Comsey now extending his lead out to about 0.3 of a second. That's very much up on the like 0.5 of a second there was before. But the drivers at the front are kind of spreading out a little bit as they all begin to take the corners, take the different lines, and they're all going to crunch back up into the final chicane. Is that Isaac Gard getting sent by Eric? Almost. Isaac Gard forced around to the awkward way around the final chicane, and Eric Zamandera is definitely going to get a better run off the chicane, looking at the line that Isaac took there. Eric Zamandera in the yellow McLaren, hounding down Isaac Gard in the white and red one. Eric moves to the outside, Isaac moves to the inside on the defensive line, and Isaac holds on to the position for now, round the first corner, but Eric Zamandera is going to try and get the switchback. Isaac Gard loses a bit of traction on the curb on the exit there, but not enough to give up position to Eric Zamandera quite yet as they head down the hill towards Eau Rouge once again for the second time round. Isaac Gard still getting hounded by Eric Zamandera, and Ryan Skywalker still hounding Henry Comsey up at the front just ahead of these guys by a few seconds, but all this battling is keeping the drivers very close together. Henry Comsey is going to come up on... No, I thought that was a back marker. It's not. It's just Henry Comsey. It's just Ryan Skywalker hounding Henry Comsey late on the brakes up the inside of Henry Comsey, sending him the long way around the late comms there, but Henry Comsey holding on once again. The Finnish mastermind still in first position, cool as ice like Kimi Räikkönen. Isaac Gard and Eric Zamandera are side by side around... is it Malmedy? But nonetheless, through Brussels, Eric Zamandera is just being sent by Isaac Gard, but he's going to have the inside line for No Name as they come round. Isaac Gard all the way on the outside, almost in the wall. Oh, I think he might even clip the wall there. He's on the grass a little bit as he rejoins Eric Zamandera up into third position. I've spoken too much. Sorry, Spitzlam.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Hit us with it.
Your heart out.
Hit us with it. What's going on? You've got the drone camera. Spitzlam currently is in the air. He's in the sky.
No, I don't. It's weird. The drone camera is weird. Let's say it like that.
All right.
It's weird.
Back down at ground level. Back down at ground level.
I can go up if you want.
We're just keeping track of the racing. There's a lot going on. I knew this GT3s would give us some good racing, but boy, is it delivering.
There's a lot of cars at the back spread out, going slowly. One battle at the back between Luke Titan and Ebba. I'm not going to try to...
who's that round? Who's that round at the front? Someone at the front has gone round. Yeah. It's Ryan Skywalker. Ryan Skywalker's gone round at Blanchimont. I missed that. I don't know what happened there, but I just rejoined Blanchimont the camera, and Ryan Skywalker was backwards in front of it, and he's down into 7th position after that one spin. I'm not sure whether him and Henry Comsey came together. They were battling side by side, wheel to wheel, all the way around Blanchimont, and Ryan Skywalker is really struggling now, doing us some donuts on the exit of the final chicane. Rejoins now down into 9th position. What happened there? I don't know.
Carnage.
Carnage at the front, carnage at the back.
Carnage everywhere.
Carnage up and down the grid. Wow, typical, isn't it? Sorry to cut you off there, Spitzlam. As we were, the battles resume, and the drivers, since we started looking at them, have spread out. And now the closest battle on track is this battle here for second place. Henry Comsey now away and clear, 2.5 seconds ahead of Eric Zamandera. Isaac Gard hunted down Eric.
I think closer is Artisium and Isaac Gard fighting for third place.
Yeah, all these three drivers. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's a bit of a train actually. If you even count Nicholas Barrion in on this one, because he's not too far behind. Although we know we're really stretching the rules. It's about a couple seconds between 6th and 2nd right now, and then Keith just rounding out the in 7th, creating a little bit of a gap between the drivers. But definitely a big battle for 2nd and 3rd.
I don't blame you. Nicholas isn't that far from the fight.
He really isn't. On some of these... Oh, someone's off. No, they're not. It was just lag. Anyway, carry on. Yeah, Nicholas, if you look at some of these long shots, you can really see how close these drivers actually are. I know the old saying
there's a battle right overtaking Bakungas at Wuhan. I don't know how to say the name. Really weird names for the Strategic community. And another fight happening, Rafaela on Look This Scam. I hope that's how you say it.
Yeah, Rafael Varela.
And they're going to find side by side almost in the 3rd gear. I've seen it on the drone, so it's harder to commentate. And the names of the...
Yeah, they're very difficult to pronounce. Look this scum.
They're almost... they're almost apart, the second apart. Now they're back together. I think there could be overtake at Blanchimont for Rafael Varela, if I'm right. If he can get the slipstream for it.
He's lining it up, isn't he? Certainly is. He's
Yes.
very close behind Luke to Sam. There's only 0.2 of a second between them. Potentially in the braking zone into the chicane. Oh, and that's going to help him out. Luke to Sam has just spun off and gone into the wall. Head first into the wall on the exit of Blanchimont. He's all over the track trying to rejoin now, and Rafael Varela moves up into 11th position. A little bit easier than he potentially even planned.
Definitely seems easier.
Max Newt on his fight through back from... Well, he must have been further down, but he was up at the front before. He's down in 10th now, fighting again with Bukungus. Just behind Ryan Skywalker. Both these drivers looking to make their way up the grid to positions that I'm sure they're more familiar with. Luke Tiscam was pulled into the pits after that incredibly damaging shunt. I'm sure he's got a lot of damage from that, so he'll be definitely in the pits for repairs, potentially for the rest of the race. Max Newt now trailing Bukungus all the way down the Kimmel Straight, looking to make the move. Not going to happen this time round. He's still only 0.4 of a second behind Bukungus as they come through Malmedy down towards Brussels, down the hill. Is he going to make a move under braking in towards Brussels? A very difficult one to make a move on, so I doubt it. But they're going to come through. They're going to come through to Poen. They're going to come through to Les Fans, and that's where the moves are potentially going to be made. Them deep braking zones where there's a long braking zone that a driver can stamp on the brakes and prove that they've got the cojones, if you will.
God.
So the battle at the front as well between Isaac Gard, Eric Schmadera, Artyom and Nicholas is not spread out too much, but it's still keeping them second gaps. Ryan Skywalker.
Keith.
Yeah, Keith going slightly slowly. Not sure if Keith just waved him through there.
We don't know. We will not know. That's the problem.
It's true, very true. But yeah, Keith now settling for 8th position, just behind Ryan Skywalker. But not a bad position for him to be in at all things considered, with Bukungus and Max Newt very close behind, 9th and 10th battling out. But all this battling, once again, is going to help Keith get away. So if Keith can just stick to his lines and do what he's been practicing, I'm sure he'll get a bit of a gap on Max Newt and Bukungus. Up at the front, there's been a change. Nicholas Barrion on Artyom. And Artyom back up the outside of Nicholas Barrion there, sent all the way around by... Oh, no, sorry, that was Nicholas back through on Artyom there on the final chicane. What a nice move. We just caught the end of that one. And that's Nicholas Barrion up into 4th position ahead of Artyom. And so the battle for 3rd is well and truly on for Nicholas. Oh, a bit slower on the first corner there, especially than Artyom might have liked, as Michelle Rodriguez also is going to try and get involved very soon. Ryan Skywalker a bit too far up the road, I think, to catch him in the time left. But Nicholas now with the job of catching Isaac Gard. Can he do it before the end of the race, Spitzlan?
He may not. That's the problem. We don't know.
You're very cautious to curse people now, aren't you?
Yes. You're the one that gives me to curse people, so yes, I am cautious.
I'm like the devil on your shoulder.
Yep, you are.
Well, whilst this gap has continued to drop down, the gap at the front has also continued to drop down. Eric Schmadera now only 0.7 of a second behind Henry Comsey. That's down on the 2.5 seconds it was just a few laps ago. And of course, they're not long races here. They're essentially sprint races, as we're going to look back to Nicholas Barrion and Artyom, because, oh, they've been bumped and they're back, and Artyom's back through, but they're battling away with Michelle Rodriguez. Oh, and Artyom's in the barrier, I think, or is that Michelle Rodriguez? No. Who's in the barrier there?
We don't know.
It's a back marker.
It's a back marker, but Artyom just bumped him into the wall.
Artyom has no time. Artyom really said, blue flags or die. I'm going to jump back to the front because I think the lead might be about to change. Henry Comsey is going to try and become the Icelandic Minister of Defence because he's got Eric Schmadera sniffing behind him, and this time he doesn't want IKEA food. There's no Swedish boys in front of him, so the viewers are safe once again, but the battle is still raging just as it would be if Henry Comsey was Swedish. but this time he's finished. Eric Schmidera lining up a move up the inside into the final corner. That's a clean move, as clean as they come for Eric Schmidera, and he's up into first position in the final chicane. Absolutely textbook. I'm going to jump back because it looks like the battle between Nicolas Barriant, Michel Rodriguez, and Artyom is hotting up, and it is. Artyom sent up the inside, Nicolas Barriant on the outside, all the way, held all the way around, and Michel Rodriguez is still sniffing up the inside of the pair of them. The line of stern heading up towards the first corner. Who's this on the inside? It's Nicolas Barriant up the inside of Artyom. There's a crazy move at the front because I think Eric Schmidera might have lost some traction out of the first corner, and he's dropped all the way down to third position. Henry comes to Isaac Gard back up, and then Artyom, off the back of that overtake by Nicolas Barriant, is down in sixth position behind Michel Rodriguez, and they're going to be very, very close as they head down towards Eau Rouge, up the hill towards Radion, and down the Kemmel Straight. All over the track limits there is Michel Rodriguez as he cuts the exit of Radion. Down the Kemmel Straight, Eric Schmidera has managed to make a move on Isaac Gard before the Lake Combs chicane, and these three, Michel Rodriguez, Nicolas Barriant, and Artyom, all heading down the Kemmel Straight. Michel Rodriguez moves to the inside, breaks deep, breaks a bit too deep, has to take the long way around or the short way around, and then rejoins behind Artyom and Nicolas Barriant together at the exit of Lake Combs. Just got his braking wrong there as he tried to make a move. Artyom's going to try and launch move himself. He thinks about it, but then he thinks better. So it's all move up at the top, up at the front between the top six, Switzerland.
These guys went free wide through Bashimon. That was impressive.
It was
crashing out.
Yeah, very impressive driving from these drivers on display. I'm not sure what happened to Eric Schmidera in the first corner, but he just must have lost some traction or something, and he moved all the way down to third, but then instantly got himself back up past Isaac Gard for second position. So we just missed that one on the cameras, but no bother, because we still had a good battle between these three behind. So it's 3x3. Noah's Ark, it's 2x2. It's this track Titan Ark is 3x3. I don't really know where I was going with that one.
I don't know. But Eric doesn't need to chase first place because he gets a lot of points from second place. Ryan is 7th.
This is a very good point for the championship.
Eric.
This is very, very well, it's definitely taking place because Ryan, of course, controversially ended up spinning out on Blanchimon. I'm not quite sure what the cause of that was, but of course that did demote him down to 7th position, and there's only a few points on hand for a 7th position driver, whereas second position, we're using the FIA point system. Second place Eric Schmidera is going to get plenty of points for the championship this time around, isn't he?
Yeah, it's sad that we don't use the fastest lap, but it's hard to know who got the fastest lap.
Where it is, you know, it's one of them. But I mean, nonetheless, the driver's still very tight, even in the championship, and actually looking a bit further back in the championship as well. There's a lot of knock-on effects that, especially Ryan moving down, might have, because Artyom in third position currently on 129 points is in for a good points haul, and he's only 12 points ahead of Michel Rodriguez right now, who is in 6th. So them two just can't be separated in the championship nor in the races, and there's only 5/10 between, and Michel Rodriguez is going to be hoping to try and get something done because he wants them points and he wants to move up past Artyom to take third place in the championship. That's a nice place to be, isn't it?
That's a really nice place to be.
Artyom there, chopping the exit of Le Combs chicane, and he's losing out on a serious amount of time there to Michel Rodriguez, who is hounding him. He's absolutely hounding him. He's sniffing his exhaust fumes as they head down the hill towards Brussels. Difficult trail braking zone. Both drivers taking picture-perfect lines there. Except for Artyom on the exit there, got a bit too much throttle on, not enough traction, and then they're heading once again down the hill through No Name towards Pouon, or the double gauche, I think it's properly called, isn't it? I won't get held up on that because Michel Rodriguez is looking to make a move at the inside of it, but thinks better of it, brakes a little bit earlier, and both the drivers abusing track limits there as they come around Pouon. Michel Rodriguez, that's not going to help you out. It's a bit too bumpy on the exit of Pouon there. I've been there many times, let me tell you. So was Antonio Giovinazzi. But nonetheless, yeah, Michel Rodriguez still hounding Artyom, still really bringing the battle to him. We'll see how this one develops. I'm going to jump back to the front. And Artyom goes round. Artyom's had a spin, and he's given up for 5th position to Michel Rodriguez, and that's going to have a serious effect on his championship standing points as he moves down behind Max Newt even now and rejoins in 8th position ahead of Bakungas. But that's a serious incident for the championship. I hope his car's okay though. Up at the front now, Eric Mandera in the orange, in the papaya McLaren, up against Henry Comsey in the blue one. They're very close once again, and last time round, Eric Mandera made the move in this corner. Not this time round, though. He's going to come through. It's the final lap, so Eric Mandera has 1 lap to make a move on Henry Comsey. Are we going to have a last lap lunge? We'll wait and see. They're heading down towards Eau Rouge, down the hill. Look how steep it gets as they build up the speed and then quickly switch uphill. Easy to lose your balance here, but they've both kept it on the track and they both kept perfect lines there as Eric Mandera chases Henry Comsey all the way down the Kimmel Straight. He's gaining, he's gaining, he's gaining. Very, very tight margins. He's losing time on the exit. He's gaining time on the exit. There's nothing to split these drivers. They're so close. There's only 0.3 of a second between them. Eric Mandera not making the move until here comes Henry Comsey, holding on once more for another corner. Eric Mandera still hunting down the Finnish Minister of Defence into the Brussels hairpin now. Downhill, Henry Comsey just ahead, and if they're not going to change, then I'll just go away from them. I'll have a paddy. I'll have a paddy.
This is the only battle happening on track, so you cannot leave them.
This is true. A lot of the drivers settling for the positions now and just trying to bring the car home for, of course, a second race with a reverse grid. And that's an interesting thing to bear in mind. Although I'm not sure it matters too much for these drivers up at the front, whether you start last or second to last. But further back, 1 grid position could make all the difference. So these drivers might be bearing that in mind when they're coming around the final lap now to finish the race. Eric Mandera still not able to make the move on Henry Comsey, but he's keeping him within touching distance. He's still 0.3 behind. Henry Comsey is going to have to be the most defensive man in the world coming into the final chicane, because that's the place to really make the move as they both speed out of Stavilo, up the hill once again towards Blanchimont, coming around the right-hander, then going to come around the left-hander. It's a kind of double bending corner before the final apex. Eric Mandera now half a second behind. He's lost some time through Stavilo. He's not going to have the break-ins. He's not going to have the time to make a move into the braking zone of the final chicane as they both come line astern once again. Yeah, Eric Mandera is too far behind. As long as Henry Comsey can hold it together for this final corner, he's going to come around the final corner now, and he's going to claim, I think, his first Track Titan win.
I don't know.
I think it might be. If it's not, it's still a good win. So it's Henry Comsey from Eric Mandera, from Isaac Gard, who also drove fantastically, but didn't get a lot of the spotlight because he just kind of sat quietly in third. But Eric Mandera there fighting Henry Comsey right to the finish, taking the fight all the way through, and he comes home in second. Nicolas Barillon comes home in 4th position after inheriting 5th with Artyom spinning out in front of him. Michel Rodriguez also inheriting 5th. Sorry, no, Nicolas Barillon inheriting 4th. Michel Rodriguez inheriting 5th. From Artyom's spin, Ryan Skywalker battles all the way from the front to 10th to 6th. Same with Max Snoot. Someone back us.
On the grade, just for fun.
Just chilling on the end of the race. It's the end of the race. You can do what you want. Artyom in 8th position. Bakungus in 9th. Keith Holt comes back home in 10th. Rafael Varela fights his way through to 11th position. El Ripo just going around to finish his lap. He's in 12th position as he comes around Blanchimont, gets a bit of screen time here. And behind him, you got Luke Tiscam. What's Mr. Hoffman's first name? Amidala Hoffman comes around to finish her race in 14th position. And so she's well ahead of the next driver behind him, which is S4V Ibalo. So
I don't think that we want to wait for these people to finish. They're just going to travel off.
Hey, you know what? We've got half a lap. We've got half a lap, and these drivers are still ready to go. As long as they're racing right to the end, they're kind of actually line astern, these two. Amidala Hoffman and S4C Ibalo giving us a serious fight at the end here. S4V giving Amidala a serious bump there as she spins round, and he's going to rejoin the track. Heroic effort, to be honest with you. Look at that car. That's been battered and bruised. Look to Scam is going to come around the final corner. He is, yeah, and complete his race. And
Who started that? Come on. Who started that? El Ripo started to kick Henry Comsey. No.
El Ripo, taking matters into his own hands, thinks he is the leader of democracy. As we wait for the last driver to finish their race, and we're going to go into the second race, which is a reverse grid, which means that I think it'll be the driver. Oh, the driver you see on screen now, Amidala Hoffman, is going to start in second position because she's 3 laps ahead of S4V Ibalo. And yeah, let's get ready. We've got another race on our hands. I don't know who's going to come out on first by the first corner of this one. It's all to play for. Yeah, there we go. S4V Ibalo lining up on pole position for the reverse grid race from Amidala Hoffman, from Multiscam and El Ripo. So,
I have a question.
What's that?
Spa-Francorchamps is broken because even I finished 1 lap behind. I started last. This guy or this girl finished 3 laps behind and is first.
We've been in the pits the entire time. We haven't completed any laps.
No, but like when I usually race, this happens. If you look at Brands Hatch, it was last time. Yeah, Brands Hatch MX-5s.
You just like to break Assetto Corsa and break cars in Assetto Corsa Spitzlam.
True.
But, well, here we go for the reverse grid race, the second race of the day, and fewer drivers in this one because I think a lot of drivers ended up breaking down. But the 6 lights are out, and away we go. Amidala Hoffman gets a rough start off the line there. Swassi Ibalo gets a much better start off the line, and he's first by the first corner. Someone's not set off from the grid now. Rafael Varela right up the inside is into second place by the first corner. There's drivers already backwards. Michelle Rodriguez caught up in the traffic jam there, and it's S4C Ibalo from Rafael Varela from Ryan Skywalker up into third position all the way from what must have been about 6 to the back, fighting all the way up Eau Rouge. Oh, and S4C Ibalo's gone around at the top of Eau Rouge. He's gone into the barrier on the exit. Hopefully no one collects him as they come through. He's going to leave, and he's had enough. And Michelle Rodriguez also has fought through very, very well, as has Henry Comsey. So a few drivers making big moves. One driver who didn't make big moves then, relatively, is Nicholas Barrion and Eric Tremendera, who both struggled, I think, to make some serious positions and capitalise on the slower drivers up at the front, but Rafael Varela holds on to first position. Ryan Skywalker breaking way too deep into Lake Combs, loses 2 positions. Michelle Rodriguez says, "Hello, Ryan," and pushes him right out wide. El Ripo's in the wall. Ryan Skywalker and Michelle Rodriguez are side by side. Henry Comsey and El Ripo. Who's not in the wall there? Eric Tremendera has been put into the wall in the exit of Les Combs coming through to Brussels, and he's going to be very slow as he comes round the Brussels hairpin with Isaac Gard very close behind, trying to make some moves, trying to get himself up into 7th position, up at the head of the pack. Ryan Skywalker obviously dropped through, but he's battling away with Michelle Rodriguez, and these drivers are very tight as he goes side by side around Puon. Ryan Skywalker on the outside, Michelle Rodriguez on the inside. Who's going to come out on top by the side? They reach Les Fans chicane. Ryan Skywalker loses out there. Oh, but he moves right up the inside of Michelle Rodriguez. He's along his rear quarter, but he's still not able to make the move as he comes around Les Fans. And Michelle Rodriguez still holding out ahead just about of Ryan Skywalker. There's a driver gone backwards. I think that's Keith Holt. It's Keith Holt going backwards at the top of your shot. He's just gone out of shot now, and there's a serious 3-way battle between 3 fast drivers now from Michelle Rodriguez, Ryan Skywalker, and Henry Comsey. Rafael Varela, the older meanwhile, is extending his lead out at the front, and he's a pretty quick driver himself, so he can definitely gain some advantage from these 3 drivers battling away. And let's see who wants to make the move into the final chicane, because this is a place where all the moves have been made this race. Ryan Skywalker and Henry Comsey are very, very close as they come round Blanchimont all the way towards the final chicane. Ryan Skywalker on the inside, Henry Comsey forced to the outside. Who's going to break deeper? Oh, Ryan Skywalker nearly clipping the back of Michelle Rodriguez as he broke so deep into the hairpin there, diving for the inside. Henry Comsey not making any moves this time round. Ryan Skywalker still sticking in 3rd position. So after the first lap, it's Rafael Varela from Michelle Rodriguez from Ryan Skywalker, but that's all set to change very soon. El Ripo and Isaac Gard are also going toe-to-toe as they come through the first corner. That was a good first lap. That was oh! Thanks, Isaac. Isaac Gard almost going around there.
Classic.
Have you seen any other battles going on track, Switzerland?
No, I've been busy with the drone a little bit. I made some photos.
Oh, I see. We've got some fantastic photos in the Discord chat. In the Discord chat. Of
Isaac is getting close to Eric. 18,000, 0,000 side by side going into Lecombs, and Eric comes out on top. Isaac gets a bad line through Lecombs. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you didn't cut me off. I was enjoying the commentary. Isaac Gard, yeah, just come out just about on top there as they came down the Kemmel Straight. I think they were having a little bit of a battle, but Isaac Gard coming off the better. I think Eric might have some damage as well. I'm going to look back to the front because Michelle and Ryan are chopping and changing once again. The same place. It's around Puon, but this time Rafael Varela is much closer. So both drivers got to be hunting down that first position spot. Ryan Skywalker's come out on top this time around. Michelle Rodriguez switches to the inside. He's long as that rear quarter of Ryan Skywalker, but not going to happen this time around. And Ryan Skywalker comes out on top through Les Fans chicane this time round. Eric Schmendera has managed to get himself up back past Isaac Gard somehow. Not sure what happened there. I'm going to jump back to the front though because, of course, Rafael Varela not quick enough to keep ahead of Ryan Skywalker and Michelle Rodriguez, which means that first place is up for grabs for these drivers.
They're like sharks smelling blood. They want the victory. They smell blood, they smell weakness. Ryan wants to use it into flashing mode and overtakes Rafael real well. Even Michelle takes the opportunity. Real well overtake. Even Henry overtakes him. But it's a flashing mode.
Really nice moves from all three drivers there as they overtake Rafael Varela around Blanchimont. Rafael definitely not getting the most speed around that corner. But now you've got three Titans up at the front of the grid right now. Ryan Skywalker, Michelle Rodriguez, Henry Comsey, all putting in the fastest laps respectively. That's because it's second lap of the race, so of course it's the fastest lap. But anyway, we're going to carry on because Ryan Skywalker currently is out in the lead. And if you remember, last time he was out in the lead, he ended up backwards. So let's hope that it doesn't happen this time around. Michelle Rodriguez, both them race winners last week round, so they're going to both want to replicate the same kind of success this week round. Henry Comsey's dropped to the back of him a little bit. Michelle Rodriguez has got an amazing run off Blanchimont, off Eau Rouge, sorry, down to Radion. And then down the Kemmel Straight, they're side by side. Michelle Rodriguez is away and through past Ryan Skywalker. What a run he got up Eau Rouge there and onto Radion. Oh, but Ryan Skywalker's breaking deep. He's on the inside of Michelle Rodriguez there. But the pressure's not getting to Michelle Rodriguez, and Michelle Rodriguez holds on once more for another corner in first position with after that clean move down the Kemmel Straight down towards Brussels. Ryan Skywalker lining up a move. He's looking for it. He's not going to do it this time around, taking a slightly different line, these two drivers. Michelle Rodriguez just trying to keep his line stable, keep the defense going. Ryan Skywalker trying to nip at his heels and capitalize on any mistakes that he's going to make. Who's going to come out on top by the end of Puon then? Ryan Skywalker. He keeps looking to the inside, doesn't he? He keeps thinking about it.
He does. Just send it, Ryan. Just send it. Just do it. You have nothing stopping you in you. It's not a real car. Just send it.
It's really in our hearts.
Make us the championship, but... oh, yeah, it will not. Eric is just fifth, so that's okay.
One driver that's questioning his own championship is El Ripo, yeah. Backwards at Le Fan chicane. Oh, and he's retired. Never mind. El Ripo deciding he's had enough today, which I think is fair. Being backwards at Le Fans, it's never a fun place to be. And another place that's never fun to be is first place with Ryan Skywalker behind you. Because you know what he's like, being sent to the outside of Blanchimont there. Michelle Rodriguez saying not this time around. He's going to have to take a very defensive line into the final chicane. But Michelle Rodriguez taking a very traditional line. He's well ahead of Ryan Skywalker there as they come into the braking zone. And Michelle Rodriguez cleanly through the final chicane, holds on for one more lap. 7.5 minutes left in this race. It's all to play for. That's probably about 2.5 minutes. 4 more laps.
Oh yeah, we can say that.
Yeah, 4 more laps. We'll say that. We've got +1 lap, of course. And that's plenty of time for this battle to continue. And this battle's been going on for a lap and a bit already. So let's see if it can continue anymore. We both know these two drivers are very, very experienced and very professional. Very professional. But last lap round, Michelle Rodriguez got a really good run off Radion.
Entrance of the track.
You up?
What?
What do you say? I missed it.
Yeah, we can see that they are the titans of the track.
Oh, they are the titans. Yeah, to be honest with you, they're two titans of this community race series. And the only man that's going to come and challenge them right now is Henry Comsey, because Eric Schmendera is well off the back of them. He's 10 seconds behind Ryan Skywalker right now. So that's going to have that might play a big role in the championship, of course, with Ryan only finishing in 6th last race, and then Eric winning. Eric's still going to come out on top with this current result if it stands as it is, But Eric does stand again. Oh, Michel Rodriguez has gone wide unknown him. He's gone very wide. He's clipped the wall. He's got all over the grass. That's not going to do his tyres any good. He's going to come around Puan with a little bit less grip than normal. And that's going to allow Ryan Skywalker to capitalise on it. And Ryan Skywalker now is right on the back of Michel Rodriguez, nipping at his heels once again. He's going to look to line up a move into left hand. He's going to look to the inside. He's going to brake deep. Both drivers braking deep. Oh, Michel Rodriguez still holds on around the outside of Ryan Skywalker there. Still holding on to that first position all this time. Henry Comsey still at the back of them. Still watching. Still preparing for the move that he could get himself into first position. Ryan Skywalker still battling away with Michel Rodriguez. Michel Rodriguez not too perturbed by this. He's not taking very defensive lines here. He's just sticking to his line and he knows what's fast and he knows he's going to stick to it. But Ryan Skywalker, like you said, he's a shark in the water and he smells blood. And coming up towards Blanchimont, they're side by side, flying around Stavelo. Up towards Blanchimont. Oh, and there's a little bit of a bump there. A little bit of a bump. Michel Rodriguez is sent off the track a little bit. Ryan Skywalker, no love lost between these two drivers. Oh, and they've come together.
Oh, and they clash.
They've come together. Ryan Skywalker and Michel Rodriguez have crashed into each other just before the final chicane. Ryan Skywalker is scattered across the circuit there. Oh, Henry Comsey narrowly avoids. Henry Comsey narrowly avoids death there as Michel Rodriguez flies across the final chicane, and Ryan Skywalker and Michel Rodriguez are going to rejoin. Ryan Skywalker's back in the wall, Michel Rodriguez is in the wall on the final chicane. Ryan Skywalker's rejoining all the way down in 4th position. He's got himself involved in a new battle on the start-finish line. Michel Rodriguez is going to get back going, and he's going to be in 9th position behind Luktiscam. And now it's 4 wide as they go into the first corner. And Eric's been there, and Ryan Skywalker. Oh, and Eric's been spun around Ryan Skywalker in the first corner. And Eric's been there, been pointed to the wall by Nicholas Barrion. And all the drivers are all scattered across the track on the first corner. It's chaos once again, and that's chaos for the championship as well. You got big titans in the championship that are all getting involved in these accidents. And meanwhile, Henry Comsey and Rafael Varela are wringing their hands in glee because they're away and clear at the front of this race with only 4 minutes left. They're going to be very happy seeing all the chaos that's going on behind them. Chaos once again. Artyom side by side with Ryan Skywalker. He's got himself through past him on the Kemmel Straight. He must have got a better run up towards Radion. Ah, oh, dear me.
We're again at Spa, and Michel is again trying to play on the torpedoes. So yeah, it's Spa. It's Spa. It's still classic Spa.
It is. Actually, that's what happened to the TCRs, wasn't it? It was Spa. It's the final chicane of the second race every single time.
Yeah.
So big drama up at the front.
Then I saw lag for Ryan, and that hit Nicholas. Nicholas then hit Eric, and then Eric made the mess. So yeah.
Eric now demoted down into. Excuse me. Eric now demoted down into 8th position. Behind even Michel Rodriguez, who had such a struggle to get back on track in time. So really shows the damage that one incident can have, doesn't it?
Yeah, Henry. If I'm right, Henry has the cleanest car right now.
Oh, 100%. Look at this car. It's pristine.
Yeah,
it's like it's come out of the garage. It's like it's just come out of the garage.
Now look at... Now Keith doesn't have it that much. Eric has it. Yeah. Look at Eric's car. That's the perfect example.
Yeah, Eric's with a dodgy wing. That's not going to help his aerodynamics not going to do his aerodynamics any favours. Michel Rodriguez, meanwhile, makes a move on Artyom, gets himself back up into 6th position, and that's a big move for the championship, of course, as well, because I think with these results, if Michel Rodriguez can stay ahead of Artyom, he's going to move up ahead of him. There's not much between these two drivers, of course, in the championship. So, if I am correct, I think Michel might be on for a little bit of a place promotion here, just as long as he can stay ahead of Artyom for the rest of the race. There's another very close battle up ahead of these two. It's Nicholas Barrion and Ryan Skywalker. Both these drivers got tangled up at turn 1.
Oh no, Michel. Almost a bad rejoin, almost hit Artyom. He braked too late and took the bus chicane wrong.
Oh, and he's rejoined behind
almost hit Artyom. Dangerous rejoin.
Fortunately,
really
fortunately, both drivers come out okay and unharmed. And Michel Rodriguez is going to go for another run. He's going to go for another go at Artyom, potentially into the final chicane once again. We'll see. Ryan Skywalker chasing Nicholas Barrion. Oh, and there's a change at the front.
What?
No, there's not.
No, there is not.
You'll have to
5
excuse
seconds
me.
apart.
You'll have to excuse me. My timing tower has seemed to have bugged.
Well,
it's fixed itself now. It's fixed itself now.
Yeah, that happened to me last race.
Goodness me.
It's weird.
Goodness me. That was a panic there for no reason. Nonetheless.
ACTV.
ACTV. Nonetheless, we carry on.
Spa-Francorchamps. What do you want?
It's the best game ever. Ryan Skywalker still chasing down Nicholas Barrion. up for 4th position, and Ryan's going to really want to get this 4th position from Nicholas, because that's going to be some seriously valuable points in his championship fight, especially now that Eric is in the pits. Eric Schmidera has retired to the pits. I'm not sure if he's going to rejoin this race or not, but of course. This happened last week. Eric left 2nd race, and Ryan gained a serious amount of points on Eric, so big moves up for grabs for Ryan, as he hunts down Nicholas Barrion and Michel Rodriguez, also as he hunts down Artyom one more time. See if he can manage to get the final chicane right this time around, not mess it up and not rejoin dodgy. Oh, Artyom messes up the Le Fans chicane. Nicholas Barrion has gone into the wall on the exit of Le Fans, and Ryan Skowka moves up into 4th position. A lot easier than he perhaps expected to. And meanwhile, Artyom and Michel Rodriguez join very close behind. Here they are. They're going to come up on the back of Nicholas very soon as well, as they come round Stavelot up towards Blanchimont. And there's only 0.2 of a second between these two drivers. Is Michel Rodriguez going to try and get up the inside of Artyom? Like last time, there was 2 drivers side by side in Blanchimont. They both ended up on the grass, and Michel was one of them.
But the last time, 3 people were in Blanchimont. It ended actually very well. But yeah, 2 people, no.
This is true. However, Michel Rodriguez somehow made it stick, and he's up ahead of Artyom into 6th position, but he loses a bit of traction on the exit there, and Artyom is going to have a decent run on him down the start-finish straight. Are they going to try and make a move into the 1st corner? Artyom looking, sniffing Michel Rodriguez, but not making a move this time round. So 3 drivers very close for 5th, 6th and 7th, and then up at the front it's very clear Henry Comsey is running away with this race. The timer ticks down to 0, so we've got a lap and a half of racing left, and Henry Comsey seems to have won this race. As long as he can keep it on the black stuff, he'll be a happy boy. Rafael Varela is 6 seconds ahead of Isaac Gard, so he dropped all the way down from 1st to 5th, and then he's back up into 2nd position. And keeping a nice clean nose today, keeping himself ahead of everyone behind him. Isaac Gard is having a serious battle now with Ryan Skowka. Ryan Skowka managed to get himself past Nicholas Barrion as Nicholas went into a wall, and now Isaac, with a very damaged car and a papier-mâché front, gets passed by Ryan Skowka into the Brussels hairpin, but Isaac's going to have the inside line for knowing him. He's going to break deep, and Ryan Skowka's going to go all the way around the outside, use the IndyCar lines. Oh, and hits the wall, gets all over the grass. That's not going to do you any favours, Ryan. And Ryan rejoins the track in 4th position behind Isaac Gard once again, with a much more damaged right side. And look at how close that tyre is getting to the arches there. I'm not sure if that's going to cause him any kind of nightmares, because of course the damage is on in this race. The damage is fully on, so this kind of thing can affect the cars, can't it?
Yeah, it can, but I don't think your tyre can blow up that easily.
The tyre wear is on, but I don't think it's going to blow up, is it? But well, I mean, with bashes into the wall like that, who knows? Unfortunately
not. And as he said, he didn't take the IndyCar line, he took the Rodriguez line, I would say it like that.
He did. That's exactly what he did. But he's going to try and make another move around Blanchimont like he did on Michel Rodriguez, but then he's thinking better of it. Maybe he's got a little bit of PTSD there. He's thinking, no, I don't want to end up on the grass once again. Word from Eric Schmidera, the driver who retired the other lap. Broken suspension, broken engine. That's why he's gone to the pits and retired for this race. Oh, and Isaac Gard goes way too deep into the final chicane there. He clips Ryan Skowka as he comes back towards, but Ryan Skowka didn't leave him much room there. All the time you have to leave a space, in the words of Fernando Alonso. And neither of these drivers are leaving any space as they go down the start-finish line, touching, rubbing, is racing. Ryan Skowka up the inside of Isaac Gard into the first corner, and he's cleanly through. Isaac is not going to fight that one much more. Nicholas Barrion just holding on to 5th position ahead of Michel Rodriguez, but Artyom also very, very close behind the pair of them for 5th, 6th and 7th. So whilst the battle for 3rd has kind of quietened down a little bit now, I think Ryan Skowka might be able to extend his lead out ahead of Isaac, because he seems to be the fastest driver in this car at this track. Nicholas Barrion is getting hounded by Michel Rodriguez in the final lap. Michel looking to make some last-minute gains for this race and try and get some viable championship points to catch himself up to Artyom. In the standings, of course. He's already ahead of him in the race. We've lost a lot of drivers.
Oh, Eric, if just Eric left the pits for now, did one small lap, he would get at least 1 point.
To get 10th position,
he got a penalty as well.
To be fair, I don't think Eric is going to be able... Yeah, Eric is trying to get out the pits. However, he's got a penalty and his controls are locked.
For what?
For what?
For what? For what?
For what? In the eternal words of Kimi Räikkönen. Up at the front, I'm going to give a jump back to Henry Comsey because he's currently coming around Stavolo to complete his lap. He's 11 seconds clear of Rafael Varela. What a commanding victory this is going to be for Henry Comsey if he can hold it together all the way to the line. But I'm not going to stay on him for too long until he crosses the line, because the battle between Nicolas Barrion and Michel Rodriguez is once again getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Michel Rodriguez is very close behind. He's on his rear quarter as they come through down to the bottom of the track, down to the lowest part of the circuit here, as they come around Stavolo through towards Blanchimont. Henry Comsey's in the final chicane now. We'll jump back to him in just a minute. Nicolas Barrion is holding on for dear life for this 5th position. He's going to try and hold on as much as he can and keep Michel Rodriguez at bay, and Michel Rodriguez is losing a bit of time as they come down towards the final chicane. Henry Comsey crosses the line in 1st position, a commanding victory, 10 seconds clear of 2nd place, 11 seconds clear even. But we're going to jump back to Nicolas Barrion because he's going to get hounded by Michel Rodriguez into the final chicane. Michel Rodriguez last of the late breakers up the inside of Nicolas Barrion. What a move from Michel Rodriguez there, and a clean one at that into the final chicane, which makes a change from Michel Rodriguez, who usually likes to kill people in the chicane. Michel Rodriguez there inherits 5th position ahead of Nicolas Barrion. Artyom settling for 7th, not able to capitalise on the same gains that Michel did. And then the rest of your drivers, I'll reel them off quickly. Henry Comsey with a commanding victory from Rafael Varela, who inherited quite a few positions thanks to all the chaos. Ryan Skauka in 3rd, Isaac Gard in 4th. Michel Rodriguez, there we go, into 5th with that beautiful, beautiful move into the final chicane. Nicolas Barrion in 6th, Artyom in 7th, Keith Holt in 8th, Luke Tiskam in 9th, and then Eric on his parade lap. He's doing a parade lap to try and get 1 point in the championship. As long as he can finish this race, he's got a point.
Or he can't finish the race, but... Eric, come on, let him finish. Let him finish.
We're giving him some serious screen time now. I think he deserves it after he got caught up and tangled in such chaos this race. But he comes round, Liv fans. Look at him go. He's flying around the corners on his final lap, trying to get that 10th. I think he can get 10th position, right? I think that's how it's gonna work.
I think he can. Or can he? I don't know.
We'll see. I don't know. The checkered flag is out, so as long as he can finish in time, I'm not quite sure what the time is set to. I'm pretty sure he's at my mercy, so I could just end the session now.
He just crashed.
Oh, and he goes into another wall, and he's all over the track now. He's had some serious damage there. Is he gonna stop? Yeah. Eric, don't stop.
No, he has an engine damage. There's 1
point. There's 1 point at stake. And Eric Cimentera. It's broken. It's broken. No.
Lando.
Eric Cimentera. He's stopping at Blanchimont. He can't finish the race. He can't even get 1 point. Oh, it's so sad. Oh no, listen to the engine splutter. Eric Cimentera, he can see the finish line. He can see it, but he can't make it. Oh no. This is heart-wrenching stuff. Oh, this is heart-wrenching.
You can get a good picture of this. Okay, now you can end the session.
Wow.
That's heartbreaking.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Oh no, listen to the engine. Let's snap a quick screenshot of that. But your winner for today, both races, was Henry Comsey with a commanding victory in the 2nd race, and he held off Ryan Skauka all the way to the line in the 1st race. That was a really, really epic race from him. And
somebody push me.
He's come back to the pits. He's had enough. He's given up on that single point. But
it's broken.
It's broken. It's broken. We'll have to. Is Henry Comsey in the chat? In the Discord?
He's not.
I don't think we see him. So we can't interview the race winner today, which means there's not going to be much to interview. But we can. I tell you what, we can jump in with Eric Cimentera. We'll go see what he's got to say and how he feels.
Yeah, we can.
Let's go have a chat to Eric. Eric, it's broken. It's broken. That was heart-wrenching, Eric. Are you here?
Don't make it worse.
this was actually
Eric suffered too much.
this is the most emotional race I've ever seen, and it's truly heart wrenching. I'm sorry to say, Eric. How do you feel? Truly, how do you feel?
Silence.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
That's fair. That's fair. I understand it. We saw what happened, Eric, and it was very unfortunate.
On the first race, when I dive bombed into T1, when I was overtaking Henry, my gear engaged into. It didn't go into third, second, first one. It went into neutral. It literally went into neutral, and I couldn't brake.
So, in the first 6 or so races, Michel had the worst luck of any driver on the grid, and I think he might have passed it to you. If you didn't have bad luck, you would have no luck at all. Right, well, we'll see how that shapes up the championship. Keith, I'm sure, will post the results very soon in the standings, but it's going to be all to fight for in the next few races. It's entertaining to watch from us.
I think I got 2 points lead.
Okay. You're going to hold on.
But I'm not sure.
You think? Can you do the math right now, actually?
Keith will be doing the math. We'll find out in the next, 10, 15 minutes, I'm sure. But there we go. Eric Mandera.
I didn't even get the P10. Jesus.
The unluckiest man in motorsport.
That could have been that 1 point that Verstappen needed, And now it's gone.
Yeah, but Michael Massey didn't get involved this time, so we're okay.
No, you cannot. You cannot do that.
There's a reason that he's been sacked. Anyway, we're getting distracted. That was the race. I'm very sorry to see Eric.
I hope the guy who's doing the math, I hope Keith, who's doing the math, will give me some extra points because he's the one
Sympathy
who brought me
points.
out in the second race.
Sympathy points. We all feel bad for you, Eric. Thank you for chatting to us.
Thank you.
Masantaja, what's your name in game?
Henry Gomes.
Oh, Henry. See, I didn't know you were in the Discord. Well, first of all, let me give you a Track Titan race winner badge because you won both races today. That's incredible. Yeah, really good race from you. Actually, you held off Ryan right to the end on the first race, and that was really, really impressive. And then in the second race, you just kind of drove your race, didn't you? What's the secret to the McLaren?
Yeah, I don't know. Just being calm.
That's true.
And waiting.
I think that paid off because Ryan and Michelle cleared the path for you.
Yes, I was in the front seat.
Although Michelle did nearly kill you in the chicane when he came across. I'm sure your life flashed before your eyes.
Yeah.
But well, there we go. Well, polar opposites today for Eric and Henry, who had the best and worst days on the grid, I think.
Definitely.
Right, thanks for chatting to us, boys.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll see you next week, I'm sure, boys. Ooh,
next
there
time.
we go. Oh, I cut off Eric there. I'm going to abduct Spitslam now. I didn't want to be on my own. I abducted Spitslam. That's it. There you go. Chatting to Henry and chatting to Eric there. Really, really, yeah, like I said, polar opposites. But both drivers did very, very well today, all things considered. And it was a good day's racing. I'm not entirely sure what's coming up next week. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I haven't got it to reveal this time round. But we'll find out. I'm sure Thomas will launch the event very shortly. But that's it for today. From Spa, from the McLarens. Thank you for watching. If you've been watching the entire time and supporting your favourite drivers, I'm sure they all appreciate it as well. I've been Adam Chapman, giving some dulcet tones today, joined by Spitslam, who's given us some comparatively much more acceptable voices.
Oof, I don't know if that's...
I think it's definitely true. I think I just kind of talk people's ear off. But yeah, what did you think of the racing today, Spitslam? A kind of end of day review.
good races. Maybe if some of the pictures would be good, we could make memes. A lot.
There's
of them.
definitely a meme to be made of Eric, although I think we need to give him time to grieve.
Actually, if you look into the chat, this reminds me of.
We'll give Eric's in the meantime. Yeah, we'll give Eric Jamandera time to breathe, and time to air it out. But from everyone here at Track Titan, thank you for watching, and that's been it for today. We'll see you all this time next week. Yeah, goodbye.